Yo.
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 167.
167. Insane that we keep doing this.
Yeah.
For dead game, dead
really,
company. I'm kidding.
From what?
Kind of. For a dead game and dead company.
Yeah. CEO. Wait, what? Okay. The book? You got the
Spoilers?
book? You got the book?
Shit.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you will.
You
Just
will.
stick around for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Prepare your faces.
So what's up, man? Last week we didn't have a podcast
Yeah.
because you went on a little adventure.
Puerto Rico. Ay, ay,
I saw a
ay.
little clip that you put together. Looked like a good time, dude.
It was a good time. Sailing, bioluminescence, hiking, jungle trekking, all this stuff. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Good time.
Except for my phone bricked while I was there.
It bricked.
Yeah. So it tried to update itself to the newest iOS and then never turned on again.
Wow.
And it went into that mode where it's like, please connect to a computer. And so I did, and it wouldn't work because I guess my lightning port's like a little corroded from all the salt water it's been in throughout the course of having my iPhone 11 Pro.
Yeah.
And so it's just done. So it's just like, I couldn't even trade it in. I had to like buy a brand new iPhone, which is so stupid. But
so wait, so did you take it to the store and they're like, yeah, it's fucked?
yeah, they're like, yeah, it's done. Lightning port's corroded. So you're fucked.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, well, I mean, I've had an iPhone. This is my umpteenth iPhone. Like, is there anything? Can I like just trade this in? Like 2 days ago, this is a perfectly working phone.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
So you're telling me because of like you could actually replace the lightning port or like pay somebody to do it. If you
I actually looked into that too. And like they won't do it.
Apple won't do it for sure.
No,
like,
even off places like wouldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it sucks, man. It's a shitty thing to like Apple's products because like I do like them. I'm kind of hooked on a lot of their stuff because it's convenient. But their like warranty, their repair, they purposely engineer shit to be unrepairable.
Yeah,
and it's frustrating. It's like, and if you don't believe it, just YouTube it, and they'll see videos of people like explaining how that's engineered to self-destruct if you try to tamper with it. So
yeah,
so it's kind of nutty.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I don't know that I've ever had a phone brick like on a trip.
Yeah, that's
in
nutty.
A foreign country.
Yeah, so like, was your passport and all your shit saved in there? Like,
I mean, you have to have
not your passport. I mean, your tickets, like your plane tickets and shit.
Yeah, the plane tickets I couldn't like check in for the flights. Just, I had to go in early and like print out the paper tickets. The bad things were like I couldn't get an Uber because I didn't have my phone.
Yeah,
I couldn't open up like a map to like.
Well, you had some friends with you at least, though, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Use theirs, so, but
yeah,
like my vaccination card. Luckily I decided to bring it with me instead of just having a photo.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal. And then, yeah, like landing home, like I couldn't get an Uber back to my house. It's like, this is crazy. It's crazy how much you like, don't think about what you use your phone for. Yeah.
You had to take a taxi, like an old school yellow cab, huh?
Basically, yeah.
That shit's expensive, bro.
Yeah.
I wonder if they've lowered their prices because Uber's given them so much comp and put them out of business.
For sure.
Yeah.
The only time you still see it like spiked up is like airports because people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you had a good trip.
It was good.
Yeah.
What the hell you been doing? Not besides not gaming.
I've actually been gaming.
You were on Halo, so I just assume you're not gaming.
No, I played a little Halo. I saw you on. I was gonna jump in with you, but you had a team. I could hear you, voice chatting and stuff. So I was like, I'll let him do his thing. It looks like you guys were like had just hit Diamond when I was tuning in arenas. I was like, oh shit, they're putting in some work, man. That seems like unless they, I assume it follows the standard pattern
from matching, anyways, from like your initial placement.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So I was watching that, but I hadn't played much, so I didn't want to, be like, yo, Fluff, let's throw down, and then like I'm like, what's this gun do? I didn't want to like completely noob it up and screw your team up. So I did play though. I went into some matchmaking and played some games, and we'll talk about that later in the pod. But so I did play a little. Forza Horizon 5 came out, so I'm a car guy. I talk about them a little bit, and I've played my race games. It's actually fun, dude. It's a really, really good game. From a graphical standpoint, it's probably one of the prettiest looking game. Like you can take pictures in that game, and it looks like if you just stop, it's like this could be a real life picture. It looks pretty damn good. So that's really cool. Game's fun. I grinded that. What else has come out? I didn't play the D3 PTR, but I tuned in and watched a little bit of it, and it looks like some things still need some tuning. So
We'll talk about that too. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of it. I've been my spare time's been in a little bit of Apex, little Halo, and a lot of Horizon 5. So
Variety streamer confirmed. The okayest variety streamer on Twitch.
Hey, what are you talking about? You're streaming Halo, dude.
You think I'm right? I stream Halo, Diablo, POE, and
you're a Halo
Apex.
streamer. You're a Halo streamer.
I am a Halo main right now, and my numbers show it. All right. Yeah, let's talk about some video game stuff.
Let's do it.
So 2 weeks ago now, we asked New Meta Podcast Question of the Week. What is your most hype for Diablo 3 Season 25? Wait, isn't it Season 25 right now? Did I mistype this? Is it 26 coming up?
We're just going to act like the upcoming season. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I don't know either.
That's so bad. Hold on. I can look it up.
Yeah, you do that. Okay, so option 1, wizard changes. Option 2, necro changes. Option 3, DH changes. Option 4, new weapon / helmet gems. And coming in with the dominant rank 1 vote is the new weapon / helmet gems. 60% of the vote. But rank 2 is 18% with the DH changes, 17% with the necro changes, and 3% with the wizard changes. Lol.
Yeah, you were right. It's 25.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. But yeah, I had the opportunity to play that first night, and I played quite a bit of necro, maintain rank 1, easy. And we leveled the seasonal character and all that, and played with new gems. And we talked about all that in the last podcast. If you guys didn't catch that, we went into great detail on each of the gems. They added, I think, 1 or 2 new ones since then, and we'll talk about that later. But it's shaping up to be an interesting season. Like you alluded to, that tuning, needs some work, but we'll see.
Yeah,
see how it makes it in.
Tuning definitely needs. I don't know what's changed since I've last seen it. But it was like people were obliterating some 150s solo even after the tuning pass. So it's like, we're talking like solo 5 minutes 150s.
Yeah, I went to log in to PTR and my seasonal character wasn't there, and I can't create one, so I don't know what's going on with that.
They banned you from the PTR?
No, I'm on PTR,
okay.
But
what did you do?
If I go to Twitch Hero, create, I can't make a seasonal person for some reason. So I don't know. No season available, it says.
Interesting.
I was going to check the updated gems and all that, but it won't let me.
Interesting.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. But
anyways, new meta podcast question for next week, and this will make a lot more sense once we dive deep here. New meta podcast question week: as news continues to unfold with recent Blizzard scandals, have you been satisfied by how Blizzard has handled the situation? Option 1, hell no, resign Bobby. Option 2, doing all right, but more. Option 3, good job, Liz. Yep.
Good job, Liz. Yep. Can't wait to see this one.
So tweet that out. You guys vote. Hello?
Hello?
It's not refreshing. There we go. Put that in chat.
Hey, I kind of, when you use the hashtag Diablo on Twitter now, it puts the 2 on there every time.
Does it really?
Yeah, you can't get rid of it. Even if you don't want the 2, you can't.
It does seem like the...
I don't necessarily like that.
Yeah, the Blizzard really... they're all over promoting D2R, and nothing else gets any limelight. So,
yeah,
I couldn't even find the Diablo 3 post.
There's not
scrolling through their feeds. So it's what the fuck?
It is. It's there. It's just one post. PTR is now hot.
Cool.
So
yeah. But jumping in. Okay, so last week we talked about how Jen Oneal was gonna, she gave her notice, hey, peacing out. And so you and I were like, well, like, it seems sus because given, obviously the current climate at Blizzard, that like, why would she walk away? And it's a really good position that she had, and et cetera, et cetera. And, we basically thought maybe something else was going on, and it kind of turns out we were right in a way.
For sure.
So
she definitely.
Yeah. So one, she actually spoke up about very early in her career at Blizzard, she was sexually harassed, which I'm just assuming literally every single woman that's ever worked at Blizzard at this point has been sexually harassed in some way, shape, or form, which is insane to me. But also she speaks up about how like she definitely felt like, she was just put in that position because they wanted a woman at the head, and that kind of like undermined, all of her successes and all that she had done, throughout her career, just to be given that position just because she was like, because of a chromosome that she had, right? And that was kind of like a feels bad moment. And still, the other guy that was the head, I forget his name. Why is his name escaping me? But he was still making more. So same position, same responsibilities.
Yeah, I forgot his name too, honestly.
Still making less.
But yeah, she definitely aired it out and kind of threw it out there. Like, this is, because at first you thought she was leaving. I don't remember what the thing was. It was like, oh, she was going to pursue some,
supporting girls in esports things and all that stuff.
Yeah. And no, she was just like, no, man. I asked for equal pay like several times. They declined me, and like, I don't know. It's,
but it doesn't really end there. So last week we also kind of I kind of alluded to, like, Bobby Kotick, he's a big pile of crap at the end of the day. Yeah. And we didn't really dive deep, but I kind of wanted to give everyone like some impression of where it's coming from when I said that. And we're not even going to like dive into everything tonight, but a group of Blizzard employees came forward, I think earlier this week, and walked out and, staged a walkout so that Bobby Kotick would resign. Obviously, we talked about last week how Bobby Kotick was like, oh, well, I'll make minimum wage for right now, even though I've already made bajillions of cash.
Even though last year I netted $154 million. Like, I don't need some money this year. I think I can make it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no question that he was aware of these sexual misconduct allegations. They go on to use the verbiage like, well, action was taken, but action can mean like literally anything. He kind of created this toxic environment and didn't do much about it. He, on record, has saved people that were blatantly accused of sexual harassment, and sided with them and took action against the other person. We know that he's had sexual misconduct allegations against himself. We also know that he's threatened people. Like, I found two articles that he threatened to like have his assistant killed.
I started that too.
And another one where he just threatened death on someone for like threatening to sue him or something like that. I don't know. And then to make everything absolutely worse, he was also on, I don't know if anyone follows the news, but Jeffrey Epstein has a little black book out there. And it's like basically incriminating anyone that's on this list. Is like, I mean, you guys know
of some really bad shit.
You guys know what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, and what he ended up, getting in trouble for.
If you don't know, we can't even tell you on the pod because they get the video pulled probably. Like, it's bad.
It's real bad. But he's on that list. Yeah. So, I mean, the list just goes on and on for this guy. No questions asked. And we see in other articles as well. I don't know if you saw the stuff that I put in the schedule, but I found another couple articles that
before we jump off Bobby real quick.
Okay.
I literally today I'm at the gas station pumping gas, and the gas station by my house has like one of the things where once you start to pump gas, a little TV turns on and it like plays news. You know, it has like a really quick like 1 or 2 minute news segment that it plays. And I start pumping, and it's pretty annoying. I usually zone it out, but the first thing that comes on, it's like Activision CEO like accused, and it literally is talking about Bobby Kotick on the gas station pump for like every single. I think it's Circle K is the chain of it. So like all of their pumps are talking about this. So it's not even just gamer news. Like this shit is everywhere, dude.
Yeah. And like it's it's to the point where it's, a lot of the shareholders got together and they staged, or they had a basically they want to force him into resigning, and some of the bigger shareholders resigning as well. So I mean it's a big deal. Like this guy just needs to get. I mean he's like done all these steps to be okay. I'll cut my wage and all that stuff. And I think in his head he thinks that's like, oh, that makes everything fine. But right. I don't think there's any recovery from this, and the guy just needs the GTFO, really, at the end of the day.
He's like, I'm a good guy,
And it's weird, too, because, like, there's people on the board that completely support him. Like, we're confident in Bobby Kotick's leadership, going forward. We think he's done appropriate steps. And that's just, I don't know, to me, it's just like, obviously he's made them a lot of money. No one's sitting here arguing that Bobby Kotick isn't good at his job.
Yeah.
He's obviously made Blizzard a ton of money, but he's a flaming hot piece of shit. So he needs to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what happens when you get that much money, and I don't know, man. When you get to that level of success, and that like when he was in, I can't remember his placement, but the amount of money he made over a couple year period put him in the top CEOs in North America. Like he was high up the food chain. And I don't know what it takes to make you be like, I'm going to have you killed. Like if you don't shut up or do what I say. Like that's some crazy level. Cause there's one thing like you and I might play around and I'd be like, whatever. Like let's say you make a joke. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill you. Like Fluff, I'm gonna kill you. Right. You know what I mean? I hope it's like not somebody being like, oh, I got you now. Like I'm gonna,
Yeah, I mean, if you're on this list and then you're also accused of sexual misconduct, and on top of that, protecting people that have committed sexual misconduct, and on top of that, saying you're gonna have like someone killed. Completely believable, right? Like there's just way too many stories out there against you.
If you're on Epstein's, black book, like you're probably
the most vile.
You probably have skeletons you would definitely kill for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For sure.
And you're the kind of guy that would
finds out like, oh, you were at Love Island this weekend. Okay, I got you. Like you're getting whacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So figuratively.
It's bad. But as I was alluding to it just a little bit before, man, these are so bad. Like, obviously, there's been a lot of stories that come out as of recently about Blizz. And I think this is probably the worst one I've read. I don't know if you read this little segment I put in the pod, but I guess, this is such a depressing thing. But I guess at a holiday party, there was a former Blizzard employee whose male coworkers allegedly passed around a photo of her vagina.
Fucking man.
And like that.
What are you guys doing? What are you doing over there?
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Police reportedly found that her unnamed male supervisor brought a butt plug and lubricant on the business trip where people were passing around this photo, and like it's just,
I mean, maybe he's just a freak, I don't know. Like man, that's not, I don't know, that's bad.
It's so bad. Like
it's bad.
What we talk about, like we've read these articles like, oh, there's frat boy culture at Blizzard. Like this isn't frat boy culture. This is like, Jeffrey Epstein list culture. I mean, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
It was like,
I've never heard of a company being this fucking bad.
Yeah, I don't even know either. It's like there's so much like I don't understand. Like, were they in a relationship or were they just friends with benefits? And did he manipulate her into that, or was it mutual? And was he the one sharing the photo? How did they get the photo? Like, there's so many questions, but either like it's still not good, regardless. Like, even the best possible way you could spin this, it's still like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
like,
the hell,
honestly, what it reminds me of is Wolf of Wall Street. Like, that's literally in my head what I picture, like Blizzard daily life, like office life, is like Wolf of Wall Street. Like, there's
I haven't seen
strippers running around. You haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street?
I haven't seen it.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah, watch that.
Well, I mean, I've seen the good parts of it. So
I'm just like, yeah, like throwing, midgets against
yeah.
like a sticky board and stuff. Like, that's what I imagine when I think of like Blizzard now. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just that was Lil Hottie's coming out party. What's her name? Margot
Robbie.
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
Unveil. So
it's crazy, man. And like I still like, to me, this also blows my mind because it's like, okay, Wolf of Wall Street's like, scumbag Wall Street investors, right? Like scummy, financially fraudulent people. This is a fucking video game company. Like, how did these? I just don't understand a bunch of like nerdy ass gamers getting together. They form Blizzard, and then somehow amidst all of that, like maybe these social awkward tendencies come out, and like it creates this culture of like being just awful to women. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like they're fucking nerd ass gamers. Like, what? How did this even happen?
Like, yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I think, dude, I just have this feeling that it's gonna crumble. Like, this shit's gonna crumble. I don't see. They have so much intellectual property that keeps them afloat, but it's like, man, I just don't know how long can you do this? How long can the ship sail with all these holes? Before, and I don't even know what happens. So they kick Bobby out, and somebody else takes over, and it's like, then what? Then what story comes out about this dude?
Yeah, I mean, the problem keeps being with Blizzard, especially the past couple months, is like, okay, this person's accused, Jab accused of stuff. He gets out, and they even give him a platform to talk, which is still fucking stupid. But, and then someone else steps up, and that guy's accused of shit too. Like, it's just like, is there anyone that has like a clean record at Blizzard at this point? Like, I mean, we know a lot of our boys.
I'm trying to look up right now who's number 2 under Activision. Like, who's like I don't even know who would.
Like, who could we even trust at this point? That's at Blizzard currently, and it's been there for a long time.
So, like,
and as
Brian
a man,
Kelly's
like,
the chairman. Like,
I would honestly assume that anyone that's worked there for like more than 5 years had some idea of what's going on, and like that person gets promoted, and that sucks to even think, because maybe there is like, diamonds in the rough over there at Blizzard. If you're a man, who knows? But like, yeah, the stereotype for anyone that gets promoted at Blizzard now is like, well, like, you probably knew about the sexual harassment and you didn't do anything. So
they made 2.2 billion in net last year. So it's crazy, man. I don't know. I just it scares me for, like, I love WoW, dude. I love WoW, and I love Diablo. Huh?
Doc Leaf. Sorry, you said wow.
Wait. Shots. Wow. Somebody's drunk. So I'm scared for those 2 IPs. Like, I don't, like, Overwatch is okay, but I could be okay without it. But WoW and Diablo, like, man, I'm scared for them, and I'm scared for the people that I know good people that work there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but it's like, this is bad, dude. Shit just keeps getting worse. Like, every time it gets worse, like, it can't get any worse than this, right? And then it's like Jen left and then like threw him under the bus. It's like, dude, she was there 2 months and she was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, this is what's going down.
She's in that position for 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she got promoted to like the lead. Like, you can't go any higher up the food chain at Blizz. And then she's like, nah.
You gotta imagine that, like, as a woman, like other women, like that are your colleagues or peers, And there's probably a lot of pressure there too, because it's like, well, why would you want to, be the head of a company that has this terrible record of treating women so poorly, and like that's got to weigh on you. So
yeah, I completely understand why she did it.
Yeah.
I don't have any fault there, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's bad, and it like I don't know how they fix it, because the good people that stick that the good people are probably leaving. And the ones that do stick around, it's like, what, like you said, how are you going to recruit people?
Right.
Like,
how are you going to recruit good talent?
Yeah. How are you going to recruit anybody?
Unless they're the type of people that like, oh, like I love treating women poorly too.
You're right.
And I'm good at making video games. This sounds like a perfect place.
I love frat parties. Yeah. I want to go do that. Like, I just don't know how you are going to acquire any talent at this point,
Especially female talent. Why the fuck would you want to go work for Blizzard if you're a female? Seriously.
You wouldn't. Like, you absolutely wouldn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Even as a man, like...
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, female for sure, I would be like, I'm good. But even as a male, I'd be like, I don't...
It's hard for me, even as a software engineer who, my profession, you're supposed to be like incredibly kind of soft-spoken and like introverted. I can't imagine any social scenario, a work social scenario, where like if my coworkers is like, hey, here's Marjorie's vagina that she works in HR. Can you believe this? I'd be like, bro, you're gonna be fired tomorrow. Like, there's no fucking shot I'm not reporting you. And like, this is the most cringe shit I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, it's just crazy. Like some work environment where that actually happens.
Or like, could you imagine they've been like, we're at a work party and they're like, yo, Fluff, come up to my room. And you're like, all right, you get there and there's a Bill Cosby photo and you're all taking pictures around it.
Like,
and like,
you're not getting me in this photo. Peace, guys.
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, I'm out. Peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess in hindsight, the photo was supposedly taken before the stuff came out. But I don't know, man. There's just so many things where you're like, I've never been at a job where people drank before. Like, that's always been an extreme no. I can't. There's been like,
there's
been happy hours. There's been happy hours like after
worked at.
Yeah, after work, there's been like, yo, let's go across the street to the pub or whatever. But it's never been like at work. I've never had that happen.
We can't associate alcohol with this. This has nothing to do with alcohol.
No, well, no. I think the partying at the work didn't help their cause. But you know what I'm saying? I think to me there's a line between this is work, this is professional, and like I'm gonna go do the drinking and the partying after hours or at somewhere else. Like, that's not my work environment. Like, I don't want to mix the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's nothing wrong with partying with your coworkers. I don't think there's anything wrong with like, getting hammered at a work function. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I wouldn't do it, but like, it's just a matter of, well, can you like be professional still when you're fucking shit faced? Can you not?
Yeah.
Talk down a woman, like, like, to me, this is like, this is just
I have a coworker that anytime there was alcohol involved, he would any work function, he would totally get shit faced, like instantly.
Yeah.
Like,
but would he do anything weird when he was shit faced?
No, because we knew and we looked out for him.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'd be like, yo, chill, go back to your room.
Right.
I definitely saved his ass a couple times. Did he do shit that should have got him fired? Yeah, probably. I can think of a couple things that were borderline, but I was like, yo, nope, you're out. You're done. Peace. Like, go back to your room. You know what I mean? And I saved him. I don't even know why I saved him, but I guess it's just like in my nature to be like, no, man, I can't. I got to look out for this dude. Sure. But
yeah. I mean,
some people are just,
they just can't help but get sloppy every time you drink. Like, don't drink at a work function.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. I told him eventually after saving him a couple times, I'm like, dude, I'm not even gonna associate. I'm not around you. Like, I'm not even gonna be near you at this thing. Like, he's like, why? I'm like, cause you can't control yourself, dude. Yeah. You're loud. You're a loud drunk. Like, nope, I'm good.
Cringe. So. But in some positive news, weird follow up. There's actually good things happening. Diablo 2 Resurrected is going to get a patch soon, and in this patch, we have what you and I have been asking for, and I think a lot of the community has been asking for since day one, is quick cast active skill binding options. So we're going to have force move, and we're going to have the ability to finally have one-click actions in this 20-year-old game, and it's going to make it feel so much better.
Yeah, it'll feel like a modern ARPG, kind of. You know, I'll be able to click to move and be able to click cast skills. Like
huge.
That's probably been my biggest ask since playing beta.
Yep.
Instant day one, I was like, please put force move it. I could live with the double cast clicking. It sucked, but I could live with it.
I could not.
Force move, I couldn't live without. I honestly, that's my biggest beef. And even some other modern ARPGs, like POE has a funky system where you can bind it, but it has to eat up one of your action slots.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I don't understand. And like POE doesn't let you bind scroll wheel.
Lost Ark actually doesn't let you bind force move to anything but left click.
Nope, it doesn't. But they have left click dedicated to force move.
Yeah.
So it's like it's there, you just can't rebind it. But at least it's like, okay, this is only a force move. It doesn't like try to pick shit up or attack things. But yeah, and like not being able, I just don't understand limitations. Like, why not give the ability to bind scroll? Why not give force move? Like, it doesn't. I can't imagine it's that much more difficult to code those key binds. So,
yeah.
Put them in, dudes.
I don't know,
please. But yeah, that's awesome.
They also brought to light here, you know, what we've been saying is like, well, you know, controllers have it, so like, why the hell would PC players not be able to get it? So,
yeah,
totally makes sense. Some UI visuals for partying and lobbies, it looks like, and for PvP, audio and graphical improvements, and then I think at the top here there was one more thing. Oh yeah, offline difficulty scaling / players 8. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Whatever on everything else, this is huge to me.
Yeah, those are really, really big in my opinion.
I was, you know, I saw Blizzard tweet this out. You know, Diablo 2 Resurrected patch coming. I gotta say, you know, there's a little part of me that's like, oh god, here we go. Like, this is it. Like, this.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I thought so too, for the fact that they just launched the World of Warcraft Classic Season of Mastery, which is like their Classic Plus. I think it's a little lame. I think they should have done a little bit more with it, but people are loving it. I'm getting a lot of feedback from my WoW buddies that it's really, really good. And so when I saw this, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, they just launched the WoW Classic Plus. This is going to be Diablo 2 Resurrected Plus. They're going to add some new shit. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, well, they added force move. That's cool.
Yeah.
They added
still
DLSS.
like, oh, sweet. Like, but when I first read it, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like, they're actually going to do something. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, they don't want to unveil anything new because they're still, I mean, the game's still not in a great state. It's not ready for, you know, season 1 basically of Diablo 2 Resurrected. So they still got a lot of work to do. From what
they gotta fix out the queue thing. I'd be interested if people are still getting queue. Like, let us know in the comments and stuff if how the queue situation is. Last time I played, I had a queue, but it was a small queue. It wasn't super long. I want to say it was around 10 minutes, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure because I walked away and then came back and got in. So,
yeah, what's going on with D2R? And D3, again, if you missed last week's podcast, go watch that because we went into deep dive into a lot of the stuff. But they've already come back and they changed a bunch of things, and they heard people's sentiment about how like the red text tells us what changed. So they went through and did all that. So thank God. But they changed a lot of the new gems. What do they call them? Lesser eaten soul shards and stuff like that.
Yeah. What are they called? Soul shards, lesser
evil, and primeval. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that big one though. The lesser, and prime.
They added a pet one. Where is that? Is it Dredgeable? No. Yeah. Each time your pet hits an enemy, your damage is increased by 1% for 5 seconds. Stacking with 100 times. When each 100 stacks quickly resets to 0. So, A pet gem. It's pretty sweet.
Pet gem. Yep. And they well, we'll get to it as we read through the notes.
Yeah, but they slightly tuned a lot of the other ones and made some of the ones that were completely worthless into stuff that's actually worth, and that's good. This is a pretty big change. Depth Diggers works on all priority skills now, which for some reason it didn't before. So that's nice. And
which ones did it specifically target before? Was it listed? Did they list on the item? I can't remember.
No, it just said primary, but there were some skills in the game that didn't count. Still, I think it was DH. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
They changed the rack here significantly.
Yeah, and this kind of goes with the gem we were just talking about, because they made it so where they benefit from all the pet juice, which is really, really cool. So
look at the board super quick. So it looks like everyone's able to clear a 150 at this point on season.
Yeah, that could be because of the gems, though.
Yeah, of course.
And that's something that we got to realize, take with a grain of salt when you're looking at the power level of this season, is how much the seasonal effect plays in it. So I really like some of the changes that I've read and seen with DH and with the Witch Doctor and other stuff, but I hope they don't overcompensate nerfs to the classes versus the legendary gems and the seasonal power, because it, like, people are blazing 150s, it looks like. So
yeah, and on non-season there's really no 150 solo clears, besides Monk.
So I don't want to see too much nerfage, but because I just like the variety. I like these other sets. I like new sets being number one power to encourage people playing them. So nothing's worse than a set redesign like this Arachner set, and then it's not the most powerful set. It's like, well, why am I? I don't care, dude. It's like Hydra when Wizard came out with Hydra and it wasn't the best set. It's like, well, that's fine. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah,
you know.
What's promising for me, I played a lot of Necro. I played that full first night, and it was fun. I mean, Rathma's really, really strong. It's, gosh, I don't even remember. It's like literally 30 times as powerful as it was, which is huge. It survived the first round of nerfs, so we'll see if it goes through as is.
Is that going to be the set?
Rathma? Yeah.
Yeah. You think it's going to outpower Lon?
I don't think it'll outpower Lon. I think, right now in PTR, they're both clearing 150s. I think the Lon is doing better.
Yeah.
Because that pet gem.
Yeah, that pet gem's kind of nutty.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool, because I saw some interesting builds in here. There's like a hybrid between mages and poison scythe, which is kind of interesting, but it's looking good. It's looking strong. Looks like next season will be pretty interesting, especially as, be able to play for a couple weeks. I think it'll be worth.
What are we thinking for release date? So what is it? We got Wave 2. The PTR dropped last
2 Thursdays ago, right? Because we missed last week.
So it was the 4th?
The 4th.
So it's been 2. So PTR might be down. Maybe that's why you couldn't make a tune.
Well, I'm in PTR.
It lets you log in.
Yeah.
You start it up.
Yeah, I can get in the game. I just can't create a seasonal character. So like, PTR is still up.
I would have thought it would gone down by now. I wonder, did they have the end? I'm looking at the top of the article and see.
Maybe I'm flagged because I'm the face of Diablo. But who knows?
Yeah, I don't. At a quick glance, I don't see when it was supposed to come down. But I'd imagine it's going to end soon. So then a couple more weeks of balance. We could potentially be looking at the 3rd or the 10th.
Yeah. And I would have, before I've been upset about the 10th because Halo was supposed to come out on the 8th.
Did they delay it?
What? No.
They didn't delay it.
They released it.
Is it actually out?
Yeah.
I thought that was just like beta.
No, this is out. It's out now.
That was actually a game?
Yeah, I think they're labeling it as beta, but it's not going down all the way up until
it's just going to stay up the whole time. Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, I just thought it was. I just thought it was a thing, and the only reason I knew it was out is because they sent me an email and they're like, "Log in now to get like free, Halo skins and stuff." Yeah. And I'm like, "All right, I'm a skin junkie. Let me go see what it is. I want the green OG Halo skin.
Yeah.
That way, in 10 years, I can be like, yeah, I beta tested Infinite.
Yep. So I can relate. And then, Lost Ark, their closed beta ended last Friday. And
I was disappointed with their beta. I played it a little bit. Did you play it?
Yes, actually. I think I even tweeted out my thoughts.
Okay.
How did I word this? Yeah. Unskippable cutscenes make even the best of games unplayable.
Yeah. So they tried to deliver, I think, like a beta experience or a testing experience by making you skip your character class's intro stories and just kind of hitting right to level 10. And like you said, unskippable cutscenes. And that intro quest mission thing sucked. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't a good representation of what I played in the Russian version of the game. Combat's still good. Like once you get through all that and you actually start to get out into the world, like it's okay, this is Lost Ark, but that intro portion is definitely worse than at least what I remembered.
I concur. So, and yeah, you could skip cutscenes in the Korean and the Russian versions. Yep. I'm not sure why the fuck they think that we want to watch like some dubbed, like dumb story. Like I cannot stand any video game. I don't care if it's Diablo 4 and they adapted, Lost Ark's combat system and POE's complexity. If you make me watch a cutscene, I don't want to play anymore. Never make people watch cutscenes. It's so stupid.
So when D4 comes out, you're skipping cutscenes?
Yes.
No.
Yes. 100%.
You're really going to skip the cutscenes?
Absolutely. No questions asked.
Oh, that's
someone
amazing.
Else can. I watch a YouTube video telling me about the story. I don't care. I need to get to max level as fast as I can. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Lost Ark's amazing. The combat's fun. I played the gunner class. I forget the name of it. Maybe it's called Gunslinger. Maybe I don't know. I actually didn't enjoy it. That was my least favorite class of all the classes I played. And then so I took, you told me on one of the pods that Monk was one of your favorites, or the fighter, or I don't know exactly what they named him. So I jumped on him and I checked it out, and he felt good. He did feel good. I still think Berserker might be my favorite of all of them, but the Monk did feel pretty good. But yeah, man, that intro mission story thing was pretty garbage. I didn't like it.
Agreed.
So.
But yeah, this site has some stats that I thought were pretty interesting. So November 4th, they had 79,000 players, average users. And that dropped down to 36,000 by November 9th. So still pretty strong.
That's pretty strong for a beta,
Yeah. Well, that's average viewers on Twitch, sorry. And Steam average players, we started at, around 30K, and then went up to around 55K for beta.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then they did the class distribution, which is kind of interesting. Shadowhunter, my class, coming in rank 1.
Yeah. If I hadn't played Shadowhunter, I definitely would have fired it up. I hope Berserker's crazy high. I can't see that.
Berserker is high. So Summoner was rank 2. The Deathblade, which is the other side of the assassin, is rank 3. Gunslinger, the one that you didn't really care for, the one I think he's probably the guy I played the third most and got him maxed and was doing raids.
They could be cool later on, but it just like swapping between the gun stances to me felt kind of awkward. One, because you couldn't track cooldowns on the other stances unless you were in it, and two, I didn't like the key bindings that they used to switch the stances. And so I played around for a little bit trying to figure out, okay, like what key bindings do I want to use? And then I was like, this is beta. I don't really care that much. And so like I ultimately just went with theirs, and it just didn't feel wonderful to me. Comparatively, like it didn't feel bad, but comparatively to like Berserker or Summoner, where it's just so rewarding to combo the things. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna jump on those again.
Yeah. Berserker was rank 5. Rank 6 is a Paladin, which is interesting because I haven't really even seen the Paladin, because Paladin wasn't on either version that I played yet.
No, I didn't play Paladin either.
Striker after that, the Bard after that, the Soul Fist after that, Sharpshooter, Deadeye Artillerist, Scrapper, Gun Lancer, and War Dancer coming in last.
Yeah. Pretty cool, man. It was interesting. It was fun to play. The intro, I don't think they did themselves justice using that crappy intro, and I hope that people who are turned off by that give it another shot at launch, because the initial story for each class is actually pretty decent. It's a pretty cool intro.
Yeah,
Like as far as intros go, it's better than most games.
Definitely think it's a bad play to, like, they basically make you pick your subclass right out of the gate now, and then you're just like level 10 instantly. It's like, why?
Yeah. You don't really, and like some of the choices, there were no choice.
Right.
It was like, here, pick your subclass, and there's like no choice. So if you never played the game before, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird experience.
Like, I got to click this thing. Oh, all right. Like, why am I doing this? But if you, in the normal game, it would make sense because you go through the story arc and you start off with no subclass and all that. So,
yeah.
But it's, like I said, it was, at least people got to see combat and test combat, and hopefully they killed some of the test dummies you can spawn in the subclass pick station, and got to experience their character at full power to see, like, oh, this is pretty cool, like whirling through these combos. So
yeah. I mean, I booted it up and I hit the unskippable cutscenes. I was already on the fence about wanting to play period, because again, I don't want to burn myself out, but that just made it like, well, okay, I'm not going to do this. There's no way I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And my thought process was kind of the same. I was like, all right, I'm going to play Gunslinger. I haven't played it, and then it'll feel new. And then I got through and I got to the main city, and it's like, go talk to people. I'm like, all right, let me turn it off. And then like the next day I was like, kind of want to play something. What am I going to play? And I'm like, well, Lost Ark's in beta still. I could jump in that, because who knows when I'll be able to play it again. So I fired it up again, and then I rolled the monk, and it was more fun. But ultimately, once I got to town again, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't want to burn out.
Yeah.
So
100%. But yeah. And then, there's a new ARPG on the horizon. It's called Sands of Aura. I like to showcase a lot of these because I want to encourage, more game companies to make ARPGs. I think that, like we said time and time again, there was that period where we saw like a WoW clone every weekend. And I want to see a world that all failed. I want to see a world where we get like, Diablo clones every weekend. And this, if I'm being honest, it aesthetically doesn't look great. It kind of looks like a Last Epoch got all the graphical updates. But they've got some interesting ideas.
It doesn't look horrible though. It looks cartoonish, It looks like I don't know, man. It looks cartoonish.
Yeah.
Not I think graphically it looks decent, but I think it's just not a style that we like. Like, it's not what we like. We want, at least I like the Diablo 4 dark and gritty, and this is more of like a Nightmare Before Christmas style, like kind of cartoonish Pixar style, but but it's okay.
The other thing I noticed right out of the gate is I really don't like, and we've talked about this thing time and time again, but I really don't like a rotating camera in an isometric RPG.
I don't think it should exist either. Like,
just fix the camera in the way that it looks best. That's it.
Yeah, and design your levels around that too.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually use that stuck camera to help your cause.
I would think it's like less work to not have a rotate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would think. It's like Magic. What was that Magic game that got canceled before it even came out? That we played. It was complete dog.
Magic Legends.
Was it Legends? I don't know. It was so
Magic
bad.
Dead Game. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Magic canceled. Magic the canceled. Came out, and like they had that rotating camera. Dude, it was horrible, man. I hated it. Like, I tried to lock it in place. I'm like, okay, I'm just never gonna mess with it. But then you'd have to rotate it because you'd have to like go a direction that didn't fit the camera, and you're like, okay, let me spin the camera on. But no, that's cool. Like, I hope this, Sands of Aura. I like ARPGs. I think just like you, competition's good. If they can come in and do some like think about Lost Ark. Like, they came in and showed us what combat could be like in an ARPG.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's competition, man. And so if this game can innovate anyway, like maybe it's an end game system,
Maybe
or
it's crafting. Maybe it's
a talent tree system or something that's just like, this is dope.
Yep.
You know, so
then
do it.
Path of Exile will steal it. Great.
Yeah, then POE can steal it and just have shitty graphics.
But speaking of the Path of Exile, I think that Ziz came out with a pretty good video. It's kind of summed up a lot of stuff that we talked about last week of the problems that I have with the league. That scourging items like weapons and armor, it just doesn't feel good. Like you're kind of, he says, like you're kind of an idiot for even trying it, because the chances are you're not going to get something good. So if you have a good item, like you're probably not going to scourge it. And it's cool that you can like corrupt something and then scourge it, and so you could get like really unique stuff, but you just never ever land anything good ever. It's like a 1% chance you're actually going to get something that's like okay. So that,
if the carrot's so far in the distance that you're like, why am I even chasing this?
Yeah.
And I think POE leans that way a little too much, especially for their mid-core players.
Right.
I
think that's Ziz plays a lot. Like I think he mentioned he already had like 800 hours or 300 hours, something like that, which is a ton. And so if a player like him still can't really feel like he's like been able to min-max it, I mean, I think that's your audience, especially for Path of Exile. It's like you're making this crazy content for these guys that played millions and billions of hours, and
you're making content for like 0.0001%.
Right. And he's talked about how like some of the tainted currencies are incredibly rare, like way too rare. Like tainted chaos orbs, tainted exalted orbs are just like you never see them, so you can never ever like count on doing that. And like something needs to be good before you scourge it, which is kind of like backwards. I feel like you should be able to scourge and like, oh wow, I got this really great base, let me craft on it, but you could never even do that because like the tainted stuff is so rare. So I think he did a good job of summing up a lot of the stuff that we talked about last week. But I mean, I think that Scourge could turn in, they have the opportunity to, Scourge will roll over. I don't think there's any question that Scourge is not going to become standard.
Yeah. So does he talk about fixes for it? Did he have?
Totally.
Or like, what would you do to fix it? Increase currency drops.
Increase tainted currency drops. I would make it so that it felt like it was worthwhile to scourge weapons and armor. I think the scourge maps feel good, and you can hit some like really interesting stuff there, and I'm down with that. I'd rather see it so that you're rewarded for doing higher tier scourge maps, because right now everyone's just like scourging 10 times like really low tier maps, so that you can get like crazy amounts of currency and stuff like that. And I don't have a problem with that system per se, but like you should be rewarded for doing more difficult content, and you're not.
So scale it, adjust the scaling a little bit. Yeah.
Or like give it like a minimum requirement. Like you can't, T10 a T1 map. Like you can only T10 like a T14 map or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I do think that the system will be actually really great going into the base game, and I'm hopeful that they'll change it quite a bit going forward, because they, like Harvest initially was okay, but it was like clunky and weird, and then they changed it, and like Harvest was great, and Ritual is like so exciting. I was like so satisfied with the game, and of course it was deleted. But maybe this could turn into something that is really cool going forward. We'll sit to see. I think that the Ultimatum League, that didn't roll over, but the Expedition League, it rolled over, and they rolled over pretty well, because it's still like the gambling is super helpful sometimes, and it just makes sense in the base game. And I think this is another mechanic that just makes sense in the base game. So I think it'll be fun. Hopefully they'll change it. And then other than that, they have some events coming up, big packed schedule. December 3rd, they do another Endless Delve event.
Endless Delve. There we go.
Which is cool, because it's like you don't have to level through the campaign, and it's a very different way to play the game. And so definitely check that out if you didn't get to check out the first one. I didn't, so I'll probably be checking that out. Hopefully it doesn't align with the season.
You're a Halo player now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true. December 8th, there is a Battle Royale plus Brutus one-day event. December 10th is Zizzarin's next Gauntlet League, and those are always a lot of prizes from Shopify and all that stuff. Those are cool to follow. And then they just have like a bunch of TBA and Battle Royale events up until the end of December. So jam-packed schedule for PoE fans.
Awesome.
And then, lastly, just out of the blue, earlier this week, 343 was like, oh yeah, by the way, the game that we said is going to come out December 8th just came out. So
yeah,
before we even talk about the game, how do you feel about that? Because for me, I was like, okay, I might take, December 8th off. I might take the rest of the week off. And like really before this, I was planning, I was like, well, I'll get back on Halo 5 and kind of like warm up to playing Halo again. And like, I'd kind of prepared myself.
Personally. Like, like I honestly, I thought they were just beta stress testing the servers for the first weekend. I didn't even, until you told me earlier in the pod that it's not going down. I figured it was already down or going down soon.
Out.
I think it's shitty. I think people plan, unless they're going to do a progress reset, but people plan vacations and holidays and time off around this.
Yeah. It was definitely a surprise.
I'm not a huge fan. But yeah, I saw the announcement. I saw it through an email, which is kind of interesting. And I was like, well, they're gonna give me free stuff if I jump in and play. I'm like, all right, cool. And then so I downloaded it and I was gonna get my stuff, and then I saw that you were on, and I was like, oh shit, Fluff's in this. I was like, let's go. And then I was like, let's see if he's streaming, and I checked it, and you were streaming. So so I just went in and did some matchmaking. But yeah, it's okay. I don't think that they have anything that's going to keep people, personally. I think it's going to have if this game was called anything but Halo, I don't think it would even be a blip, honestly. But since it's got the name, I think it's going to be super crazy fucking big for the first couple weeks. And then I think within 3 months, it'll, be like, what?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I think that there's a lot of interesting stuff here, but I don't think there's anything that's gonna, like I said, take Halo to kind of the next level.
Nothing stands out that I played that made it be like, oh, this is unique to this game, or this is a reason that makes me want to play this game. And I honestly feel like I can't believe they launched this with no BR mode, as silly as that is.
Yeah. Well, Blizzard or 343 would say, there is a BR. Battle rifle.
Yeah, there's the battle rifle. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on that page of, I think the gunplay, it feels good, and I'm having fun right now. Like, I'm actually having a ton of fun because, I mean, I just love Halo. And
GTK is really, really long in this game.
Yeah,
which
it's Halo.
Which is, it's
great.
Okay. I kind of like it because I've actually had people, come around a corner and shoot me in the back, and then I actually have time to turn around and win the engagement. Which is, it favors
skill.
It favors coordination over positioning, which positioning is a lot of skill too. So it's interesting to play though. It's just different, like because you're used to most every other shooter. If somebody gets a good jump on you, you're pretty much going to lose.
Yeah, so I can't stand COD. It's a total noob can kill me in COD just because he like saw me and pulled the trigger. Whereas in Halo, you can do that all you want. I'm going to turn around and kill you every single time if you're terrible. So
it's interesting. That was the one thing I felt that maybe is pulling in its favor, but I think a lot of people won't like that or be used to that style.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the aim assist kick in. I saw it drag your reticle up with them. Are you just that good?
I'm just that good, bro.
No, aim assist. So, yeah, but I wanted to see what the vehicles played like.
Well,
so I did jump in a vehicle just because everybody's like, "Yeah, man, it's driving vehicles in Halo was so fun," and I'm like, I didn't play a lot, so I'm like, okay, let's do it. It felt okay. Like on keyboard and mouse, it responded well to the input, but I'm like, this isn't going to be a thing that's going to make me play. So, did you jump in any vehicles and run around?
No, I will never play big team battle on purpose. I can't stand it. I can't stand vehicles. Just don't belong in Halo. Halo's like 4v4 arena. I think, again, the BR would be fucking fantastic in a Halo game. But, yeah, absolutely not. I think that would be even interesting to think about too is like how Halo would do a BR would dictate to me some of its successes, because I was thinking it's like, well, you could drop down, if you drop down to like a big open map in Halo, that would kind of suck, because like, you know, the big team battle, like crazy long range engagements, and you're just like only able to engage players with like a BR or a sniper. Like that's not as exciting as like, you know, what you're seeing right now on the screen, where it's like I'm up in people's faces having these like crazy encounters. So it'd have to be like, to me, it would have to be like dropped into a city almost. Yeah. Where there's like really not that many opportunities for crazy long range encounters. It'd be like more of like a in your face kind of feel to it. So
or intelligent map design where they limit sightlines.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's ways that they could pull it off, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like the maps to me, I don't have a thing to put my finger on, but like just looking at this map, looking at graphically, it's not like it looks bad. It doesn't look bad. But it also doesn't look next gen or modern either. Like this could pass as a early PlayStation 4 game, you know what I mean, or Xbox game. And it's like the map design looks very squared, and maybe that's for the competitive scene, just to, you know, for symmetry and balance and things. But I don't know. I wasn't impressed with it like I hoped I would be, you know.
Yeah, so. I'm having fun.
But. You know, like I'm gonna jump back in and play some more, primarily just because you're liking it. So I want to see. I'll keep giving it some shots and seeing like, okay, is this have some kind of magic that's gonna suck me in? So.
Yep. That's really, I mean, that's it for video games. That's kind of it.
Yeah, that's all we got. You got some. We're gonna jump into some Twitter questions. Before we do that, you got some hates.
I got
man. Some loves, man.
So hates for me, and I think I've maybe mentioned this before, but it presents itself every single time I travel. So like I did on this trip, I did like a sailing thing where I, you know, sail on, it's a boat, it's got other people, it's on a sailboat, it was a catamaran. And there were people that
strangers or people that you knew?
No, strangers.
Okay.
And there are people like, you know, I make travel videos. Obviously, it's something I do, but this is me on a trip, right? So once every hour, once every 2 hours, I pull up my phone and I go like that real quick and I put it back in my pocket. Like it's that thoughtful, you know, like I'm just like, I'm in the moment 99.9% of the time enjoying the trip. And then I pull out the phone. It's like, well, I want to remember this. Whoop, done. I put it away. I don't touch it for like another hour, right? But there are people that I see every single time I go on a vacation somewhere where I don't even know that they got off their phone the entire time they were on this like sailboat. Like, yeah, it's just like this.
That's something that yeah, that's something that I talked about with my wife a lot. Like when we went to Hawaii in like 2015, 2016, back to back 2 years, we went to Hawaii, and that place is amazing, right? But we're like, you know, out like doing stuff, and she was like recording and taking pictures of everything. Right. And I'm like, put your phone away, enjoy the moment. Like, you know, like you're looking at this beautiful island through your phone screen, you know? But in hindsight though, I didn't take any pictures or any videos. So like I have no memories of it. And like all the stuff we have is hers. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now I'm glad she did it. But back then I was like, you're not enjoying any of this shit. Like you're just staring at your phone screen the whole time. So it's definitely like a balance that you can find with that. The only picture I took was one of her. We climbed Coco Head Mountain in Hawaii, which is like insanely long, steep climb. And by the time we got to the top, we were both dead, like super dead. And she was sitting there like tired and kind of pissed off because she was so tired. And I got my phone out to take a picture of her, and she's like, "You better not." And I took it, and so I have this photo of her just looking so pissed off at me. And that's like one of my favorite photos of all time. Anytime, you know, like I'm just like memeing her or something, I'll whip that photo out and just like send it to her. I'll text it to her, and she's like, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that to me that's the balance. Like I'm there for, like, say I sailed for 6 hours or something like that, and I maybe took like a minute worth of footage. And so like those 15-second clips or whatever, I'm gonna be able to look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that, and like in great detail because I captured the moment. But there was literally like a cruise I was on in Aruba, was on a catamaran, and I shit you not, there was a girl on the boat that sat in the front of the boat, and she had her phone out, and it did not go away the whole time. And it wasn't even like recording, like, hey, look at this sailboat, look how beautiful it is. It was herself. And she was like, not only recording just herself in the front of this boat, but she had music playing out loud on her phone while she was recording herself on the boat. So it's just like,
yeah, that drives me nuts when other people have their speakerphone on their phone, whether it's music or a phone conversation or a YouTube video. I don't care what it is you're watching. I don't give a shit. Like, put some headphones on or mute
Agreed.
it. There's no acceptable level of speakerphone in public, like zero. So, and if I can hear your headphones, you need to buy some better shit. Like, I don't need to hear that either. Because like sometimes you'll be on a plane or something and somebody's got AirPods in, like the just originals, and they turn it all the way up, and it's like it just like it's like having a little portable speaker in your ear, like you can still hear it.
Yeah,
that's a huge pet peeve of mine.
Agreed.
So
I took my parents to New York like last February before COVID, or I mean it wasn't really before COVID, but it was like no one knew what the fuck was going on yet.
Yeah.
And my mom did that on the plane. I was like, my mom of all people. Like, my parents are very like conservative and respectful of other people. And when my mom pulled out her phone, I was like, where's that coming from? And sure enough, it was my mom playing she's playing like Candy Crush or something, and it was out loud. I was like,
yeah, like,
two things I didn't know about my mom. Like, she's playing a phone game, and she's playing it out
playing
loud.
an Activision game. Tell her about Bobby. Mom, do you know about Bobby? You can't play that shit.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So it was like a information blast in like a 30-second period. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're one of those?
Yeah, that drives me nuts. Even at home. Like if I'm like chilling and my kids, like, you know, my wife or my kids will have TikTok open and they're like scrolling through videos, and I'll suffer through a couple, but then eventually I'll look over and be like, dude, can you turn that down?
Same.
Like, what are you doing?
Same.
Like, please. I don't care. Like,
I can't even do it. Like, sometimes I'll go to my neighbor's house because like he makes great barbecue, but they also, like, when we're having dinner, they have the TV on, and it's like no one's watching it at all, and like we're trying to have a conversation, but the TV's going. So like in my brain, it's so hard for me. It bothers the fuck out of me because I'm like, well, what's happening on the show? I don't care what's happening on the show, but I can't like not hear it because it's just fucking noise. Like, why don't you just turn it off because we're not watching it? That shit just drives me crazy.
I don't mind the TV, but I sleep with the TV on, and the reason I sleep with the TV on, but there's a reason for it. The reason is when my wife gets up in the morning, she gets up hours before I do. She like goes to bed at 8:39 every night, I swear, and she wakes up at 5:45 or 6, and so she gets up before me, and then she's noisy and loud, and if the TV's on, it won't wake me up, but if the TV's off, then it'll wake me up every time, and then once I'm up, I'm like, well, I'm up, so that's literally great. It's just a sound buffer. It's a white noise buffer so she doesn't wake me up.
I can't. The TV being on is, I hate it. I even watched have you ever seen Sweet Home Alabama?
No, I know the song.
Yeah. So it's like this terrible romantic comedy from like, I don't even know, like the 90s or the early 2000s. And it was awful. It's like this couple arguing the whole movie. And it's highly regarded among women for some reason. And it like gave me PTSD. Like watching it before bed, I like dreamt all night about me and my ex-girlfriend like arguing. And it's just like, so even stuff like that will impact me sleeping, let alone having something on while I'm
I fall asleep
to
ESPN every night though. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe not the same effect. I'm not going to sleep with like
when you hear
Saw on or something.
You start to like doze off
instantly, dude. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, but I agree though. I agree with a lot of that. Like enjoy the moment, man. Pull yourself away from your like phones are crazy. Like they're crazy addictive, and it's super noticeable in my two oldest kids. Like the difference of their habits versus like, I mean, I played a lot of games when I was in high school and fresh out of high school. I played a lot of video games, but like their phones never leave their hand. Like my son's phone never leaves his hand, or my oldest daughter, like ever. I don't think,
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I don't know, crazy. My loves.
Yeah, hit me.
So I heard, I've heard about it for a little bit. A lot of us probably have. There's a little game out there called League of Legends.
Cool.
It's not that big. Made by a company that also makes Apex. Made by Rare, right? Did they do Apex too? Can't remember. I think they do.
What?
The League of Legends companies, don't they do?
Oh, is it? I don't think. Is it? I don't think so. Right?
I don't know. Either way, so the makers of League of Legends decided to. They do Valorant. That's right. It was Valorant. I knew they did one of the other shooters. Put together this little Netflix TV series, and I'm like, the only reason Riot. Yeah, I just went brain dead. Riot is the company that made it. The only reason that I was interested in this is because it was made by a video game company, and I'm like, okay, let's see what they can do. So I tuned in Netflix and I threw on the first episode of Arcane, and that shit's good, dude. It's super good. I was like, okay, they everything about it, man. Story's good, animation is next level, music is next level, voice acting is next level. Like they just came in and like put all like Pixar on blast. They're like, oh, that's cool. You guys are making movies. Check this out. Here, hold my beer. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. But the fun thing about it for me was, it was like a Sunday night, and I got the whole family, and I was like, hey, I want you guys to watch episode 1 with me. And if you don't like it after episode 1, you're free to just get up and walk away. I don't care. Like you can leave or whatever, and I'll watch it by myself. But if you do like it, then cool, you can stay and watch it. So everybody liked it, man. We all ended up, my wife and my kids all end up liking it too. And we sat down and we watched all the episodes that are available so far. They have 3 more that come out Saturday. I think it's Saturday. So
what's
we're gonna finish it up Saturday.
About? Is it like a show about League of Legends?
No, well, I don't know. I never played League of Legends. Honestly, I'm not a fan. But it's I don't want to ruin plot. It's entirely self-contained story. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of any other stuff to watch it. You can just jump in and watch it. So it's I don't know how to tell the events of the story without ruining it or doing it a disservice. So watch maybe catch a trailer. I'm sure their trailers are probably decent. I haven't seen one, honestly. I just jumped straight into it.
It's a cartoon, no?
It's animated. Yeah, it's like I would say it's like a Pixar style, but they nailed it. It's, a mix of 2D, 3D animation. It's really good. So check it out. Get your friend and be like, let's watch this show. My podcast partner that eats frozen hot dogs said that we should watch the first episode together.
My sociopath podcast partner.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my loves.
Okay.
Let's jump into some Twitter questions. The first question comes from Kire. He says, hey Pete, does this make D2R more playable or still not worth more of your time? And then he linked a picture of the force move has been added to D2R. Yeah, man, I think it definitely makes it more playable. For me, 1,000,000%. I think that is my biggest pet peeve in any ARPG that I play, when I can't bind it. And not only that, when I can't bind it to W, because like a psychopath, I bound force move to W in Diablo 3 on launch day. And so that's been my force move button for 10,000 hours now. And so when a game doesn't let me bind it to W, it literally like makes it unplayable. It's so hard for me to untrain my brain. So thoughts on that, Fluff?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was big. I think it's really big. It's what I've been wanting since day one, and it didn't make sense. The controllers had it, and keyboard mouse didn't. I don't know that it makes me that much more excited or vested to jump on the D2R personally. I actually was a little bit surprised by how I didn't really find the game that enjoyable, if I'm being honest. someone that played it a lot back in the day. I'm that kind of guy though. Like I played Halo 1 arguably more than I played any game ever. Do I want to go back and play Halo 1 now? Fuck no. I'd rather play Halo 5. I'd rather play Halo Infinite. 1000%.
I'm kind of the same. Like I'll play a lot of games, and some games just have it like I want to play them. I just follow my gut. If I want to play a game, I play the game. Like I don't care if other people like it, don't like it, or if I should play it or shouldn't, like whatever. And like I jumped into D2, and it wasn't like I didn't have fun. I had fun when I played it. It was cool. I was like, this is cool. But then when I turned it off and the next day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a game right now. What do I feel like playing? It just didn't have that, oh, I need to go play some more D2R. It was like, I don't know. I think I want to play something different, Does the force move make me want to jump back in? No, but it definitely helps the cause. Like next time I'm thinking about playing, I'll be like, yeah, let's jump in that because it's got force move now. Let's see if it makes it feel a little bit better.
It definitely, for me, like if they do get to that point where they're going to release more content, I'm not immediately in my head thinking like, God, like I'm so excited they're actually releasing stuff for D2R, but man, the fact that I still have to do 2-click actions and there's no force move, like I'm just like immediately the hype goes down. But now that I know that that's there, like it makes it a lot more exciting if they do decide to do that in the future. That's what I will say.
Yeah. Noodle Star says, what movie or TV quote do you use all the time?
Movie or TV quote?
That's what she said. Literally, that's what she said from Office. Michael Scott.
It's like the worst thing.
I'd probably say that like
television.
I probably say that several times a day, every day. That's what she said.
I do say "so it would seem" a lot from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know why. I say, "she'll be all right." I don't know what that's from, really.
Crocodile Dundee.
Probably. I say cool a lot. And I think that's from what was that show? The police one. Who knows?
Oh,
Brooklyn 99 or something. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that's from?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of the other police show, the Reno.
Yeah.
Reno 911.
Trying to think of anything else.
Yeah, I'm thinking too. I think that's what she said's my big one. I can't think of others that I use. The other ones I think are unique that I just made up. Yeah, go with that.
Okay.
You got more, or are you ready for the next one?
Ready for next one.
All right. Sticky Onion 48 says, what's one video game you think everybody should play?
I mean, like, as much as
it's hard to say for everybody.
As much as I just blasted it, I do think that like Diablo 2 is something, if you're an isometric ARG fan, that like it's important to maybe understand where it all came from. And if you've never played it, then you should check it out. But
Candy Crush. I mean, there's not one genre that fits everybody ever.
POE.
To me, like the game that really took me over the edge and like gaming is fucking insanely awesome was Final Fantasy VII. Like, I didn't realize, and it's so cliche to say it because everybody's favorite game, but that was the game for me that I was like, this is so fucking cool, man. They're telling this badass story. It's got combat. It's got things to go grind. Like I don't know, man. That game, I had never played anything like that to me, but that's my experience because I hadn't had those experiences. If you threw it in today, if I told my son to go play Final Fantasy VII, he'd probably be like, this sucks. You know what
I realized is that my nostalgia for Final Fantasy VII has diminished
because of the remake. I'm excited. Dude, I shit you not. I'm excited for the next installment.
I shit you not. I need a co-host.
I got the Yuffie DLC.
Trash.
when that came out and played through it. I liked it, man. It was fun. I don't know. I'm trying to think of another game that everybody should play.
Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda. I mean, that was
Breath of the Wild.
masterpiece.
I mean, fuck, you could just jump in at Breath of the Wild and it's a phenomenal game. It's, but is everybody going to like it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's Super Mario on SNES. Super Mario World. What was that World?
Super Mario World.
Yeah. Super Mario World or Tetris. There you go. I love Tetris, actually. Like the OG NES Tetris. It's fun. Giant Saint says, your cat and dog and a stranger are drowning. You can only save one. Who do you pick?
Cat.
Yeah, I knew that you would pick that. So I'm gonna change it. That's why I kind of chuckled, because I'm gonna change the question. Okay. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. This is gonna be a really hot seat.
Do it.
Your cat and dog. Your cat.
Cat.
And one of your new friends that may be a girl is drowning. You're on this trip.
Cat.
And you're on this trip.
You put cat in anything. Cat. Literally.
You would let your
cat.
lady friend die over your
parents. Cat. Literally anything. You cat.
Your brother?
Cat.
Really?
He is my fucking child. Like, you don't understand. No one, like, you. I mean, maybe you pet owners out there know.
What about I fell in the water? You would let me die over your cat?
Abso-fucking-lutely, P.
God damn, dude.
That is my bond to my cat.
I might have saved you over my cat, but not anymore.
Why can't you fucking swim? My cat can't swim. I gotta save my cat. You got a knife, and
there's a rock tied to each of our foot, and like one of us is going down. Which rope are you cutting? You got time to cut one rope. The other one's gonna be out of reach.
There's a rope tied to my little baby's paw. I gotta get it off, bro.
Okay, all right.
Like, you can survive. Just hold your breath.
I would save the stranger, except for if it's Fluff. And then now I would save my cat. Now with my new intel that I have gathered.
You don't even like your cat.
I will apparently, like it more than you, Fluff. So no, I don't. It's a weird thing because I don't really like my cat that much, but he's still part of my family, so I still like my cat. You know what I mean? Like, that's my cat. Like, don't fuck with my cat. So,
yeah, I heard a story recently of like growing up, like it's a friend's dad that didn't like the family dog, and then the dog passed away, and like, they broke it to the kids, like, oh, the dog's passed away. And the kids were like, oh, shoot. But then the dad was like just crying like every day and shit like that. Even though he hated the dog the whole time.
He fucking hated that. He needed
that
dog to hate.
Man. Yeah.
The dog, dog was his punching bag.
Yeah.
MRF 1982 said, what is the best SNES game?
Link to the Past.
Kind of tied into the other one. Huh?
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
I think I have to agree. I played the shit out of that game too. Super Mario World was really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that might have been one of the best launch titles ever. I played the crap. It was, I don't know. As a kid, man, that was so much fun. Opening that, I got it for Christmas. Like, opening that up on Christmas and being like, "Yo, let's go."
Yeah, I struggle to think of really anything else.
Yeah. F-Zero was cool. I don't think it was better than the other two, though.
Not even close.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Hex says, what's the best sandwich?
I've never been a big sandwich guy. Especially not like cold sandwiches. I can do hot sandwiches.
Is it a turkey sandwich? Is it a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I love a good PBJ. I don't know, man.
A PBJ? No,
yeah,
man.
You don't like
jam? Is like jelly's too sweet.
Well, you go thin with the jelly. I don't go super thick with the jelly.
I can't do that.
My mouth's watering right now. I just had those PBJ.
I don't know, like a good, like roasted chicken, hot sandwich. something like that.
Okay. All right.
Alright.
I'm mayo, turkey, cheese. Boom. I'm pretty happy. Throw some sour cream and
Mayo?
onion potato.
What is with
potato
you
chips
and
on it.
condiments, man? You just love.
You don't like mayo?
Fuck
Dude,
no.
get out of here. Who
I bet
doesn't
you like
mayo?
ranch too.
You don't do you like any condiments? You don't like ketchup, ranch, or mayo?
I like
what,
hot
you just
sauce.
like dry food?
I like hot sauce.
You like hot stuff.
That's it. Hot sauce is pretty much.
Yeah.
I
And
mustard.
then-
I'll do a mustard on a brat.
Oh, mustard's so nasty, dude.
What? You eat mayo and you're just calling mustard nasty?
Yeah,
Mayo's
mustard's
straight
nasty.
up lard. It's
Can we get a
disgusting.
poll real quick between mayo or mustard to see what's better? Hold on.
Mustard. Easy.
The last question while I make this poll for mayo and mustard. Hunter Rose says, "What's the hardest game you've ever played?"
I mean, it can be taken in a few different ways. I think that the game that has required the most investment is Path of Exile. Of probably any game I've ever played.
I agree.
I think that to play at a high level competitively, Halo is incredibly hard. But just like picking up a game and like it being that initially difficult, I don't know. Straw poll.
If you're watching live, you can vote between mayo and mustard.
What's better? Mustard. Oh.
You guys better vote mayo right there. Hit it. Do it. I think so. Yeah, I think Path of Exile is like probably one of the most PhD level games that I've ever seen. Like to actually is it one vote? Fluff voted mustard. Hold on, can I vote on my own poll?
Oh, 4-4 split.
Oh,
Who the fuck says mayo? You guys are disgusting.
are we winning?
Oh, stop.
Yes, let's go. So, I think POE's got the most depth of any game I've seen. Like to understand. Oh, you son of don't. Who's doing mustard? Fluff, are you multi-voting right now?
Yes, mustard. Let's go.
I would say, for like just out of my first gut reaction is Ninja Turtles, the old SNES Ninja Turtle game. I never beat it. I wonder
Turtles
if I
in
could
Time?
today. No, not Turtles in Time. The original.
Oh, I thought you said SNES. My bad.
No. The original Nintendo.
Yeah, what was
I
that
might
one?
have.
Was it just Ninja Turtles, or was it?
I think it was
something?
just Ninja Turtles. That game was so flipping hard, man. When you got the spot in the Technodrome where you just fall, and like there's a pattern to like death spikes and like everywhere. And if you don't know the pattern, you just insta die.
Mm.
And it's like, how do you learn the pattern? There's
You
no
have to keep playing.
checkpoint. There's no nothing. Yeah, it's just like old school Nintendo games had a different level of difficulty.
Yeah,
that
man.
just isn't there, man.
Relentless.
They didn't care.
Oh, there's an article that I meant to put on the podcast. Hang on. Do we have another
Who's
one?
voting all this mustard? Listen, guys, come on. Don't let Fluff win. What are you doing?
Do you have another one? Want to pull this up or no?
Oh, actually, no. That was the last one.
I found it. Okay. So there's one of the top posts on the Diablo Immortal Reddit was, "This game overwhelms me. I love this game. It's fantastic. It's well made, but I have trouble keeping a steady schedule of playing because I feel there's just too much content and it's all introduced way too soon." Okay, people like this should never have a voice on the internet.
Wow.
Ever.
Toxic, man. Toxic, man.
Do you think Diablo Immortal is too much content? Just stop. This is why I think that 10 years from now, video games are going to be just like so instant gratification. Like open a loot box that opens a loot box that has a loot box inside of it, and you open that loot box, and it's going to be all just like dumb instant gratification slot machine bullshit. They're going in the wrong way with video games. It sucks.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that either. I think that maybe ARPGs aren't your genre, if that's the case. You know, like Or maybe you're a mobile game player and you're not used to complexity being on a mobile game system. Skewed poll, by the way. It's not accurate. Fluff multi-voted. I see him getting his phone out and shit.
VPN.
Stop it. Right. He's got multiple browser tabs going right now. But yeah, no, I don't agree. I think complexity is cool. I do think that you need to introduce it in a way that the player can comprehend it. Like you can't just dump it all on somebody. I don't think Diablo Immortal is guilty of throwing too much at you at the same time, though.
Yeah, but even if they do, like a game like Path of Exile, if like there's just no shot that the game could introduce you to all its layers in like a really user-friendly way because there's just so much there. And that's not a bad thing.
But you can still have fun playing the game, though. Like, that's the difference. Like, I can jump in PoE and have fun, and I don't know half of what's going on. I'm like, I don't know what this means. Like, what is that? I don't even care. I'm not like Beastier. I'm not going to worry about trying to learn that shit. Like, I don't care. I'm going to go do the stuff that's fun, and I have a good time. And then as you play more, you understand the systems. You know what I mean? So, Mayo's winning right now?
Yeah,
oh, wait, what?
Chat's
what
VPNing.
happened?
It's full shit.
Yes, there we go.
It's Mace Turner.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the end of the podcast. Mayo is clearly the winner. Mustard sucks. Chat confirmed it. I am still 100, batting 100 on opinion. Have I lost anything, Fluff? I don't think I have.
Yeah, everyone says sausage.
Nobody picks sausage. No, literally nobody has ever picked sausage.
Because we're all socially programmed that men must like bacon, bat chest. Like, come on. Basically, the only thing that we've learned from this podcast, as viewers at home, is like, if society wants someone to do something some way, what does Fluff want to do? He wants to go the other way. Every time.
Can you schedule? Okay, so hold on. What game release do we really want to line up going forward? Because I need you to publicly announce some vacations so we can get some drop dates. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get Diablo 4. Let's see. I'll be gone the week after Christmas. I'm going to Destin with my family, which was not even a vacation.
Christmas of 22?
No, this year.
Well, yeah, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah, we might. You never know. If I say I'm going to go somewhere, we're going to get something.
Yeah, Fluff's going away for 3 months, December 24th of this year. So we need.
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm actually supposed to be out of the country right now. I was supposed to motorbike from Patagonia to Kansas City this year.
What happened?
Because it's my 40th birthday next month. Almost 1 month from today, actually.
So why aren't you going?
Because a lot of those land borders are closed still.
Sucks, man.
It does.
So are you scared to get on a bike again? Have you got on a bike again?
I have gotten on a bike again. I was absolutely not scared at all. I thought
you weren't
for a second that maybe I would be, but no. I think if I had been in the accident while I was actually driving, I might feel differently. But I think I feel more confident if I had been on the bike. Like, so now maybe if I pull over the side of the road, I'll be like way more fucking sketch.
Yeah.
About what the hell's going on.
I had this. So when I got hit on my motorcycle, when it happened to me as I was going down the service road, and a truck came in sideways and T-boned me as I'm going down the service road. And then so I was really, really effed up. And so it was a long time before I even got in a car and drove again. I think it was like 6 months before I even drove a vehicle. And so when I got in the car and I was driving for the first time, when cars would come to approach the road and like stop as you're going by, I was like freaking the fuck out inside. I was like, oh my God, is he gonna stop? Is he gonna stop? It definitely took a little bit for that to fade away. Yeah. So it's nutty. So yeah, I was just curious if you had any PTSD from your accident.
I mean, I haven't pulled over yet, so who knows?
Yep. That's it for episode 167.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
You ready to go play some Halo?
What'd you say?
You ready to go play some Halo?
Right now? Maybe.
Sweet ass.
Are you really gonna play?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I might fire it up.
Oh shit, boys.
Do it.
Let's go.
But anyways, you catch more of me on the podcast and at ThaPChild on all the places.
Yeah. And I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on the Twitter. We'll see you boys next week. Peace out. Stay tuned.